21st Century Entrepreneurship with Martin Piskarik.
And I think our generation has had to adapt so quickly to new technologies. And I think being able to just think outside the box to how to leverage technology to grow your business has been one of the biggest things. A lot of young entrepreneurs whether it's they've been so involved in technology, whether it's like through gaming or they're doing their schoolwork through technology or their jobs, they're just been involved in so much different technology. We really think creatively outside the box of how to leverage the technology that we're given access to. And a lot of times it's not just clear cut how to use it. So I think we're really good at trying to find out different ways to leverage the technology to help, build businesses, grow our businesses, etc.
Can you immerse even deeper into your generation? What do you think? Are you introverts or it's the same as some older generation? I mean, do you see any differences on the level of personality traits, behavioral clusters?
Yeah, so I think our generation, because we've, there's so much remote work, but also just through technology that we work so much in silos a lot. A lot of the interpersonal relationships by a lot of people aren't there as much because you could do so much business and you could grow your business so much with just yourself in your basement, I think, a lot of us don't have, the same level of social skills in a lot of ways that, some of the older generation possess and that they needed to thrive on their business, which is really interesting because then you find a lot of people that wouldn't necessarily have been successful 20, 30 years ago, but because, these days there's so much opportunity by you just being able to run your own business, through, online, that you don't even need a lot of those skills that used to be like vital. And obviously those skills are still great to have. And there's so many ways to leverage them if you have really good, strong personal skills, social skills. But yeah, we've been seeing a lot of that.
Is there still an issue regarding shiny objects in your generation? I mean, it was in my generation, and I'm now 48. And what about your generation?
Yeah, I think that's such a big issue, and I'm guilty of it, and I think so many people are guilty of it. I think primarily because you see so much snapshots of like different businesses, and they look so good, and it looks like it's so easy to get into, right? You see like, oh, I could just start selling on Amazon, and I can make millions of dollars, and it looks, people show screenshots, and everything just looks so easy. But so you always want to kind of get into more things and get into the next thing. So it kind of, that has just become so much of a phenomenon just because so many people are sharing that information and you're just seeing some small snapshots through social media and just online.
Let's speak about brand diversity. With brands in fitness, pet care, home, kitchen, how do you ensure consistent success across such diverse categories and use that question to actually begin with your starting point on that learning curve, so your beginnings?
Yeah, so when I really started selling online, we really just dove into understanding, how the online marketplaces work. How does, selling online work in general? And what I soon became to realize is that if you really understand the nuances of how to sell online, there's so much opportunity because there's so much sales being done online, but so many people are just listing their products and are not really understanding how, every marketplace works, how, to really get your products showing properly. And once we really figured out that system and had a system around it and we're able to do it in a scalable manner, in my eyes, it wasn't as much of which category we were in. It's about finding the right products with the most opportunity that we could really leverage our knowledge with. So, we've launched, some products in fitness, and then we also launched some products in the pet category because there's a lot of opportunity in the pet category. For the most part, the process we did to launch those items, rank those items, and really gain market share was the same core methodology. And, now I work with so many different brands. It's the same exact thing. It's just understanding, the core methodology of how to work on understanding how the platform works, how each of these platform works. And then once you have a really deep understanding of that, it's so much easier to just plug and play it into different products, different brands, different categories.
And old sales methods were so pushy compared to now. Why do you think e-commerce folks like you seem calmer and more understanding in sales?
I think in regards to how the sales, sales in this environment are, it's less about being like a very aggressive salesperson or really trying to push certain different things onto other people, because just as smart and sophisticated you are as the salesperson, the person who you're selling to is just as much, if not more, and they don't appreciate it as much anymore. So what works best in our current, in our environment is really understanding who you're selling to, understanding, what they need, and then just figuring out ways to partner with them. And like, that's how kind of we approach it, is because we work with a lot of brands, is like, we're managed by sellers, and it's like the same approach that we do to actually, run our businesses and how we'll manage your brands as sellers. And that's really been like a key thing. I think that like sets a lot of the successful businesses in our space aside, is the ones that are really founded and have teams that are sellers, because they don't push, they don't have an agenda to just push you sales. Like, they understand that this business relationship is only going to work if I provide a certain amount of value to you. And, if it's really, portrayed in the right way, then you're able to close a lot of sales. But like the traditional pushing, and it's something that I don't, it's different. So.
Now let's go to Walmart's story. For me, it's an incredible one. So given your experience selling on both platforms, almost all of us know about Amazon, but Walmart is a big player as well, if I understood the market well enough. Can you pinpoint the main differences between those two platforms, so Amazon and Walmart, for e-commerce sellers, and the potential of Walmart, and why every Amazon seller should consider expanding to selling on Walmart?
For sure, that's a great question. So my background started off selling on Amazon. So I started off in high school selling on Amazon, building brands on Amazon. And as I was able to build product lines and brands on Amazon, I realized that there was such an opportunity to expand these product lines to other marketplaces and other online retailers. So we really expanded to a lot of different online retailers. And what we noticed was Walmart was the only other channel that really gave significant results. So what my thought process was back then was, if I put the same amount of effort I put into Amazon to really figure out how Walmart works, how items get ranked, what makes you, perform better with advertising on Walmart, what type of content works best on Walmart, then we're able to really have a playbook that could help us be more successful than everybody else on the platform. So we really became really aggressive in that. And what we realized is we were able to launch so many products, be able to be really successful on the platform. That's when we really started our agency and started working with a lot of brands to do the same thing, because there was so much opportunity bringing new products onto the platform with a really tailored approach. And it's not about just listing your products there. There's so much strategy that could be done. And when you do that, you put yourself so much above the competitors. And I think Amazon brands are so equipped to be able to be successful on Walmart. So it's like Amazon's a great channel, but when you grow your brand to a certain point, like you have great products now, it's really important to be able to expand your catalog. And Walmart is a marketplace. So if you don't sell your products on there, another seller that might be able to get access to your products could just list your products on there. So like, you're losing out sales. Walmart ranks really high in Google traffic. So when people search for your products on Google, like a lot of times the Walmart listing will come up, and there's a lot of traffic that you could get from there. So it's really like, you want to maximize another channel, right? You want to diversify yourself and get another channel. You want to increase your revenue, right? There's no better way to do that than just the fastest growing marketplace. It's a marketplace that's growing so quickly. So the earlier you adapt, the lower cost it is for you as a brand, right? Because the longer you wait to adapt, the more expensive it is going to be for you to get on the platform and really rank your products, advertise your products. Walmart really opens up an ecosystem also that is really different than any other platform, where they're the largest retailer in the world, right? It's such an easy way to get your foot in the door by just creating a seller account and getting your products on there. So it just makes so much sense for brands to get started on there for so many different reasons. And it's like, if you do well on their online platform, it opens up the opportunity to get into their in-stores, right? So as a brand, it's like, you want to think about, there's so many different value adds you could get from being part of a partner like that. And Walmart cares so much about growing their .com business now. So they're really doing a lot to support the sellers. So it's just been really key and important. And we've seen so much good results from brands really adapting on and launching on the platform.
Given that I have listeners from 95 countries, are there regions or countries where Walmart isn't the dominant retailer?
Yeah, so there's a lot of countries where they're not as big, but they've been growing a lot of countries. Like last week, we were actually one of the sponsors at the first Walmart marketplace show, and they announced at that show that they're launching in Chile. Now they have already marketplaces in Mexico and Canada. They also allow sellers from other countries sell on the US marketplace. Even if you're from China, UK, like you could actually, I think India as well, like you could actually, even if you don't have a US company, you could still apply and sell on the US marketplace, and they have their own fulfillment center. So you could just ship from your manufacturer directly to the Walmart fulfillment centers. So it actually doesn't even matter if you're from the US, as long as you're from one of the countries that allow you to sell in there. So we help a lot of those international country brands from international countries actually apply and get started on the marketplace. And that's been a really big thing.
In this digital age, how has thinking digital first changed how you do e-commerce? And what tips would you share with older business people who find this change hard?
Yeah, so I think what's really important to understand about retail in general is that it's moving to it's moving towards an omnichannel experience. And Walmart has been constantly saying this, like they're an omnichannel retailer. A lot of other retailers like Target are very into becoming an omnichannel retailer. And it's not that stores are going to fully go away or that certain types of e-commerce are going to fully take over. It's, for a lot of the big retailers, it's an omnichannel experience. So some products make much more sense for them to be only available on .com. Some products, it makes much more sense for them to also be available in store. A lot of products that are available in store, I think it's like with different retailers, there's different statistics, but like over 70% of people in store actually search, whether it's on Amazon or another online retailer, to see reviews on the product before they purchase it in store. So there's so many different touch points. And it's just, you want to be, when a retailer and a marketplace is spending so much to, boost their presence as a whole, like you want to be part of that growth. So, it's a lot about just understanding the way e-commerce is headed and the way, the amount of value you could get from being part of the e-commerce, and being part of marketplaces in general as a brand. A little bit about myself and the company. So I was, a seller for a while, and I started really early on Walmart.com. I was able to have a lot of success there and was even able to get my products to be the number one in our category, the number one bestseller in our category on Walmart.com and the marketplace. And then I was actually able to even grow one of my brands to get into Walmart stores because of the success we had on Walmart.com. So I realized that the marketplace is growing so quickly and there's so many amazing brands, but to understand how Walmart works and to be able to be really successful on it, a lot of them, didn't have the time or resources or the understanding to really get set up on it properly. So we started an agency around 3 years ago where we were going to be exclusively focused on Walmart. And what we noticed is there's so many agencies out there, but in order to be really successful on Walmart, there's so many specific nuances. So we want to be the experts just in that field. So we're Walmart approved partners. We work very closely with them. We have close relationships with a lot of Walmart. We're one of their approved agency partners as well as API partners. So we're able to leverage a lot of their data and create tools to assist sellers, but we're also able to be a full service agency where we help brands actually get started on the platform, get accepted into the platform, relaunch their products, grow their brand. So we can really act as an extension of their team. And we've been able to have a lot of success there. We've managed and launched over 400 brands on the platform, over 100,000 products. We spend tens of millions of dollars with Walmart's advertising company, Walmart Connect. So it's been so interesting to be so involved in the growth of so many brands on the platform, and understanding that we had a playbook that works really well for Walmart. And there's so much value a lot of brands can have by launching on the platform. It's so early on the marketplace now, so we've been able to really get a lot of success from that, and it's been great to work with so many brands. And if you want to find out more about what we do, or even speak to somebody on our team to just see if you might be a good fit for Walmart, get some free advice, you could just go to sellcord.com, sellcord.com, and just fill out the form. Somebody from our team will reach out, and we'll be able to, if you do end up onboarding with us, we'll have a special discount. But anyway, you could get free information as well from our team. See if you might be a good fit for Walmart, or if you're already selling on Walmart and you want to grow your Walmart business, there's also opportunities there.
21st Century Entrepreneurship with Martin Piskarik.
Imagine a space where triumphs, trials, and tales of entrepreneurship come alive. Welcome to the 21st Century Entrepreneurship Podcast, a gold awarded journey hosted by Martin Piskarik, connecting with listeners in 95 countries and ranking in the top 0.5% of all podcasts. Join our exclusive community, elevate your perspective, and embark on the path to success.